What's up, Donovan? This is going to be a demo video for you for your Shan staff. So these are, of course, installed individually, but you have a coupler that's in your box right here where you can attach these both at the pommel and make this a staff version. I'm not going to do that at this time, but you do have that capability, obviously, with the sound venting being located in those slots in the middle right there. All right, so I'm going to put this back in your box. We'll go through one at a time. We'll just happen to go through this one right here. I wanted to show you, I have your blade plugs out. Hard to see your PCB in there, but I'll show you that here in a second. But when you put your blade plug in, you can lock it all the way down, but you can see how it just bounces on the pins. If I push it like that, it keeps bouncing out, right? Because it's bouncing on those pins. But that is safe because this is all polycarbonate, so it's safe to touch those pins. All right, and that's the same on both of them. These are 2-button setups. So your switch box is right here. Your front switch right here is going to be power. Your back will be auxiliary. All right, and then how to get to your chassis is when you switch it around 180 degrees from your switches is going to be this little button head screw right here. So we need to take that off. All right. We'll take that off real quick. Comes right out. It's a bit of a small guy, so make sure you don't lose it. But when you do that, you can slide the handle completely off. All right. When you get to your chassis and you slide that out, you can slide your chassis out as well. The chassis does not have any kind of retention screws in it. When it is in the Saber, what keeps it in place is the actual back of the handle. So when this is on, it's slid on all the way, the inside pommel here pushes up against the rim of the chassis, and everything holds in place. But if you wanted to take it completely out, you could. We'll do it just to show you. So over here you've got, well, we'll start from the top. You've got a lit PCB from Shadowfoil Props. This is the long pin version. Very hard to focus on that, but I'm going to try my best. There we go. All right, lots of LEDs on that guy, and they do light up. You've got a kill switch right here. Flipping it over, you've got the 2 lit switches from Shadowfoil Props also. So these are each individually programmed. They each have 2 LEDs apiece. The front will be your power, the back will be your auxiliary. Flipping it back over here, you have your crystal chamber add-on. So we put all that in there. That is glued in place so it doesn't come out. Sliding down here, you have your Proffies V3. So these, both of these Sabers have Proffies V3s. They're installed identically. You will probably want to pop this board up to get to your SD card and your micro USB and then slap it back down into place. Now there's enough room in here to get in here with a 90-degree data cable. But because of the way that the board is facing, it's facing up towards all of this. There are a lot of wires right here. I had to hide them with a piece of electrical tape just so that I didn't want that to be kind of unsightly, right? But underneath all that is the wires for everything here, and there are a lot of wires in this guy. I mean, you've got 3 wires for your PCB, you've got 2 wires for your kill switch. I put 3 wires on the kill switch. You've got 5 wires for your power button. You've got another 5 wires for your auxiliary button. Then you've got another 3 wires for your crystal chamber. You've got another wire for your positive battery tab. I mean, that all comes over here in front of the board, so I had to hide that. All right, so just be aware you're going to want to pop that board up to make any changes. For now, these Sabers have my sound font on them, but they are programmed with a yellow blade to match the theme of the Saber. All right, so let's throw a battery in here. When you look in here, if you look closely, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick that up on camera, right at the top of that battery terminal, you see those 2 negative signs on both sides. So negative side of your battery. If you look on the other side, you'll see 2 plus signs. So that should help you out in lining up your battery. All right. So we'll put our battery in and clip it down. Come over here and flip our kill switch right here. So I've got your crystal chamber pulsing, and I've got your switches going back and forth between red and green. This is basically the loop cave scene. All right. Until we hit power. They are on a timer, by the way, so they time out so you don't kill your battery. But we come over here and hit power. Your crystal will go solid. Your red goes solid, but I made your green pulse. And then your main LEDs are all lit up. All right, so, and then you've got twist off. Now when putting this into the top of the Saber, it can be a little confusing because you can put this guy in 3 different ways, right? We could put it in, yeah, 3 different ways if you just line up those 3 prongs. But there is a particular way you have to do it. If you look at this piece right here, this has the hole in it on the bottom where we screw in our handle. It's the only piece like that on the tip that it has a hole. All right. So what you need to make sure to do is that that hole is facing down and your 2 switches right here are 180 degrees from it. So when we put it in like that, we know that's the right way. We've got our hole down here lined up with your crystal chamber. I suppose would be a much easier way to do that. And then 180 degrees from that is your switches. And so when we take our handle, we find our switch box on our handle. We can slide it right over our switches, and then we can screw the handle down. All right, and I'll do that real quick. There was a lot of explanation into that, but really, I mean, it's like a 2-second verification, and then you're good to go. I just like to over-explain things. All right, and then we can hit power. And you can see your green and your red through your switch box. This is very cool. Auxiliary down here. We'll throw a blade in here. I'm just going to hold it in for now, but this takes a 1-inch diameter Neopixel blade. You will want to lock this down. I'm just showing you the functionality and that it does indeed light a blade up. All right, so there's your blade. And you've got twist off. All right, so if you were to go to another sound font, you would just hit auxiliary. Of course, this one just has the 1. All right. So blaster bolt deflex is tapping auxiliary. Blade lockup is holding auxiliary down and hitting the Saber. You hear that, and you'll also see it in your blade. Do a flash on flash. All right. And we'll take this back apart and go over the other one. So for now, what I'm going to do is take this button out, take this handle off, put it over here, take the chassis out. We'll turn it on from here, and we'll flip it off with the kill switch, and that kills power. All right. When you want to take your battery out, you could probably do it from right here. Just kind of pinch on the battery and bring it out, or you can use a tool, either one. So I'll just put this over here for now. We'll come over here and we'll grab the one that's all together, so you know I have a different one in my hand. And we will take the handle off of this guy real quick too. Just a few turns and that guy comes right out. All right. You can interchange the handles or the chassis to either top end of these Sabers. They're both identical. All right, so we'll come over here and take that out again. Again, showing you the pieces of this chassis just so you know it's the same. So your Shadowfoil lit PCB, your 2 switches. Flipping it over is your kill switch and your crystal chamber. That's identical. And then coming over here, Proffies V3. What I didn't point out on the other chassis is, you know, you've got 2 28mm speakers that are fully enclosed. All right, so we'll throw a battery in this guy too. All right, come over here and flip our kill switch. So you got pulsing there on your crystal chamber, and then you've got the red and green blinkies there on your switches, and they are on a timer. So if you don't turn this on right away, it'll time out just like that. All right, so we'll come over here and put this in correctly. Whoops. Just like that. Slide our handle on, switch box over the switches there. Come over here and lock this handle down too. Get that little button head started. Come over here and hit power. So again, some nice shine through here. All these lit up. Auxiliary. Our blade locked up. And of course this one lights a blade as well. All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, well, actually, I'll break this down real quick just to show you that the kill switch works. So again, we'll take that button head out of there. Might want to do that over a table because they are tiny guys. All right, slide this out, slide this off. We'll turn it on, and we'll flip it off from here. All right, and it kills everything like it should. Now this one, you may need a tool, or if you work out a little bit, you can get it with your finger, no biggie. All right, so I just bent these negative battery tabs out a little bit to make sure that the batteries fit in there nice and snug. But that is basically your pair of Shans. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll try my best to get these out in the mail to you today. Thanks, man.